I recently got a comment on one of my Bible study videos asking if God is real, why does the Bible portray God as a malevolent bully, and why is there so much cruelty from religious people? I get comments of this nature a lot, and if you've ever looked at the church and asked that same question, I want to have an honest conversation about it. I'm Pastor Carissa, and if you're someone who's felt pushed away from faith by a punitive, angry caricature of God, I want to say two things to you. First, I'm glad you're here. Second, I actually agree with your critique. For centuries, human beings have projected their own internal trauma and rage and desire for vengeance onto the canvas of the divine, creating a strict father who looks a lot like a tribal, power-hungry bully. When we preach a God who is constantly angry and requires violence or eternal torture to be appeased, we paint a picture of an abusive partner, but that is a human projection. It's often constructed to maintain social control. Theologians like Karl Barth remind us that we don't define God through our fear or our sin. We look at Jesus. Jesus reveals a God who is unconditionally for us, who steps directly into human suffering, whose ultimate word to humanity is a resounding yes. And when the Bible talks about God's wrath, it's not a volatile, temperamental rage. It is God's steadfast, loving opposition to the very things that destroy human flourishing, like cruelty, systemic abuse, and violence. If God weren't angry at those things, God wouldn't be a good God. My friend, Pastor Allen, and I are starting a new podcast soon called Reclaiming Church, and it's all about shifting this narrative. We're done handing out punitive man-made dogma, and we want to help reclaim the bread of compassion, liberation, and radical love. If you have a story of religious trauma and hurt that you want to share, or a story of walking away from the church or sticking with the church in spite of the pain, I want you to go to the link in my bio and help us out with a survey by telling your story and letting us know if you're interested in being interviewed for the podcast.